he walks right into Rops. Molodoy time to answer. Close! Second for him. He's alone. Okay, on his own, so be it. A triple out of Molodoy prowling the streets. What a nuisance vitality. Needs teammates. That is a truth nuke.
FURIA's Counter-Strike team has won 3 back-to-back Tier 1 events, beating the world's strongest teams such as Falcons, Team Vitality or the Mongols. Today I want to deep dive into how a Brazilian team with 2 Russian-speaking players manages to stay ahead of its opposition, what makes them different, and why they are the hot favorites to win the 2025 Budapest Major.
What's going on, guys? My name is Logix and I'm gonna be your host for today's video, and I want to talk about the one and only unbeatable team right now, FURIA. They actually are going to be rematching Na'Vi in the playoffs. They recently beat them in stage 3, destroying them on Nuke 13-2, so I wanna see how they do it.
Let's get straight into the action. I'm actually wearing my ex-team's jersey right now, but I can show you,
Heck yeah, that's me! Fucking hell. LFT player flexing his jersey, what can I say?
Okay, so I wanna start right here in round number 3. Molodoy actually manages to get an AWP inside the game because he got a 3k on the anti-eco. So, now, we'll see him starting outside. It's very strong for the AWPer to come outside, however the ramp player needs to be aware that his rotation is far away. Now what we see here, this is quite a standard opening to a round where CDs are breaking the smokes. It's a very strong start for them, especially right now because the Molodoy actually got the AWP so early out and he manages to get 2 kills on an absolutely unprepared Na'Vi. Now what I like straight into the next round is that FURIA are actually instantly changing up what they're doing. Since Molodoy started outside last round, the T's are gonna be worried about him starting there again, so he instead comes ramp to replace Fallen. And Fallen, this is a very strong position for the ramp player as well. He's gonna go back of garage. Now one more thing I want to talk about is how Na'Vi basically do 2 smoke wall lines because of how FURIA was breaking smokes on them the first full buy round. They are expecting them to do it again, so they are actually not walking with the first set of smokes, but instead they do a second wall for Makaze, which enables him to go down secret. Now he only goes down solo, but FURIA still anticipate that many might have been down B, so they actually make a setup for it. Now the weakness with being in a B setup is actually what Na'Vi abuse in this round. LXCB is gonna be using their last smoke for A main. Ima, being the entry player, manages to find solo Yuri here on top of hut, and A side is theoretically theirs. However, since they don't have any util, Molodoy here manages to find a nice pick onto Ima. And all of a sudden, it's 4v4, you are in A side, but you have no util, and Makaze is also very separated from you. So Makaze here is ultimately gonna be found out in secret, and Fallen and Yakindar are in the perfect positions to crunch him out. And I want you to pay attention to what util FURIA has left. It's exactly 2 flashbangs, and look what they're setting up. Molodoy in spawn ready with these 2 flashbangs is gonna be absolutely destroying LXCB because look, he has no chance to win this duel. And now it all comes down to cleaning up these 2 players, right? You're in a 3v2, Yakindar gets the info on Bit, Fallen dancing around with Bit on A side manages to kill him, Molodoy hits a nice shot on door and they get the deal. Now when people are talking about FURIA and they discuss Fallen and specifically, they always compliment him for being the GOAT at IGL because what he's doing for FURIA is just impressive. But I want to highlight how he defends ramp here. He does the standard blocking utility, which is good because he is once again solo. But look at this multi-kill he does on ramp. 3k, he gets traded, but 3k already gives FURIA the best chance at winning the round. And Molodoy is there to pick up Makaze as well. Fallen is still in his prime. Hear me out. This 3k is not something you see your regular face low 10 do. This was incredibly strong from him, and he is... You can see that all the pieces have come together for FURIA, and even IGL shooting is just the thing you need to be the strongest team in the world. Now a lot of people ask me why my game is in Japanese, and the truth is I'm actually studying Japanese because once in my life I want to move to Japan and live like PewDiePie there. Maybe that's gonna come true, maybe not, we'll see. Anyways, back to CS. Here we can see Molodoi is actually missing this first shot on him, and that is not lovely, but he manages to recover. I really like what Ime was going for here, because he is using the only AK Navi had in round, and even though he dies on Silo, which is a bit tricky for Navi to get the AK back, they still manage to do it, and their AK is back in their hands. Navi here are going to attempt something towards outside, and I really like what Yekindar is doing here, because the D's smoke top main, that means under heaven wrap is a possibility, and Yekindar checks outside and he does this wonderful spot, right? That enables Molodoi to come back, and ultimately Navi walk into this Keiserato Yekindar crossfire, which they have absolutely no chance of breaking through. So a very nice round from FURIA. They actually have 0 deaths on their anti-force, anti-eco. Now, as some of you probably know, FURIA is a team that talks in 3 languages. They talk in Portuguese between each other, the Brazilian players. Molodoi and Yekindar talk in Russian, and they managed to sneak in English to actually talk like the whole team. And I want you to pay attention to this next example in their voice comms video, because what I think is really nice that a lot of the teams on the up-and-coming teams don't really do is calling for their players to play. In this exact round, you can see that the players who are dead are gonna be calling for the players that are alive, and it's just gonna be very wonderful.
From the 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Yuri survive.
Long, close.
Yuri play.
Yuri play.
Play Yuri. Play.
Now that right there might seem like a pretty simple play, because obviously the T has 10 seconds to plant the bomb, so the best scenario is probably just to rush him, like he isn't gonna plant the bomb, but this is tier 1 we're talking here, and the T could have easily faked the bomb plant and then killed both of the CTs rushing him, because obviously they're rushing, he's swinging them, it's very good for him to just peek them and get those free kills. So the guys on FURIA, Yekindar and Molodoi, are actually coming for Yuri to play by himself and deny the bomb plant himself, so that Fallen doesn't get exposed, and in case that he actually taps the bomb, he is there to survive. Now, another round I want to talk about is gonna be here on Overpass, because I think it shows how fast the pro players manage to process in their brains where they need to be in numbers. Here, FURIA No Vitality are not on the best of buys, that they only have pistols and the 1 upgraded AK, and Yekindar is actually gonna be taking some important info in this round, and he calls people over towards A, and this rotation enables Keiserato and Molodoi to have an absolutely stellar round. So just watch how this round unfolds. It's really wonderful, guys.
You can leave smoke and leave the... Give smoke and leave then. Okay, you have 2 more smokes.
Yeah, so there Yekindar calmed that there is 1 balloons, and he calls people towards A.
Give me space. They flash into locker. Only one right now.
Now here Yekindar falls on long, but FURIA are already free in A.
My weapon is right side.
Okay.
Now Yuri actually dies as well, but still 2 people are on A for FURIA, and look what they managed to squeeze out of this round.
One walk. He saw a bomb up.
That one dead.
Maybe one kick.
Guys, bomb is A. Bomb. 2 long running. Then has long. One more.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something new. I think you can clearly see how FURIA are not doing anything out of this world. They're playing simple but very good and coordinated CS. They are being nice aimers, but also humble enough to support each other well, and they are making good rotations when it is necessary. They're just very good at finding opening kills, predicting their opponents, and playing strong fundamental CS. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Bye bye!